So
Now we're live.
we're waiting for the director's thumb. And here we are, people. How you going? How's
Actually,
things?
you know what we really should get? We should
What
get
we
a
should-
little director's cut thing and go.
Hey, yeah, we do. We need one
Start.
of those cut things. No, the only trouble is they'll start cutting me out.
Well, that's not a bad thing.
How are you all? Hope yous are going well. We're doing awesome. Fantastic to be back on the show again, and thanks for joining us. It's awesome to have yous on board. Who have we got? We got anyone saying hello yet, Jess?
No one. No
No
one
one.
currently loves us. At
No
the
one
moment.
loves us. No
love. Oh, there we've got three
No.
eyes, but no love.
No derogatory comments.
Not yet. But there is still 30 minutes to go. So,
Oh,
cool.
cool.
Hey, you can work on that one.
You never know your luck in a big city.
Oh, we have
So-
Sebastian. He's saying, hi, team.
Hey, hi, Sebast. How you going, mate? Great to have you on board. Good, great stuff. Now, we got a great show for you today. I'm not too sure if I can contain Jess, but so what's our main subject, Jess?
Our main subject is we're going to be talking nuts and bolts.
Oh, nuts and bolts.
Yes,
Definitely are.
always check your nuts
Definitely.
in bikes and in real life because prevention is better than a really bad outcome.
Yeah, you're dead right. Yeah, no, definitely our
is better than a cure.
our
Well, that is true.
Our subject matter obviously does tend to point you towards people's health. And it's important for everyone, males and females, to have your regular checkups. Don't let it sit. Go and get it checked out. It's better for it to be nothing than to leave it and then it becomes something. So cool. So talking about that, a bit of a shout out to Ben Walling. Unfortunately, he had a little bit of a spill, and
A little tiny.
yeah, and it was a suspected shoulder dislocation. But apparently it's turned out that it's not. So,
Oh, that's good.
but he's a pretty sore lad. So no worries. And he's tracking pretty well in the state championships in the junior enduro scene. Also a big shout out to Piper.
Yes.
She I believe is running first overall, or actually has won her class for this year. And I believe
Yeah, she's got a sweet looking bike at the moment. It's all sprinkles and ice creams, which I actually kind of feel like we need to get that happening in the trials. We need to funk up some bikes.
Oh, that's awesome. Great stuff, Piper. Great stuff. And young Jack Walling is humming. He's running first at the moment. And I think they've got one championship round left to go. And also a big shout out to Holy Jongen.
Harley.
Sorry, what did I say?
Holy.
Oh,
Holy Harley.
holy moly. Harley? No, to Harley.
Don't worry, he calls Setney, whatever his surname is, Sate. So, you know.
No, Gibbonet.
Yeah, whatever.
Big shout out to Harley. He's going really well too. Keep it up, mate. Good work. So, Jess, we are talking nuts and bolts.
We are.
Right. Now, why would you check your nuts and bolts?
To make sure that they're healthy.
Yes.
And to make sure they're all in place so nothing falls out, nothing falls off, and
Yep.
your bike is running smoothly.
Exactly. So there's probably three reasons, but there's predominantly two major reasons why you would check your nuts and bolts and stuff. One is you don't want to miss out on the ride. If you forget to keep checks, then something's going to fall off and you could miss out on a ride. Now, the whole point of having a bike is
To ride.
to ride it, right? So the other main point, of course, is if you leave something loose, something could come jammed up. It could end up costing you money. So there's no point in costing you money for nothing when a couple of simple checks will solve that problem. Basically, it's a 10-minute job. Grab a few Allen keys and spanners and just go over your bike before a trial. Now, why I've often said to the boys, I used to have arguments with the boys about washing their bikes. Now, this is one of the reasons why you wash your bike. Because while you're washing your bike with your toothbrush, you're actually going to spot nuts and bolts that could actually be loose. So that's the first reason why you wash your bike. You get rid of all that mud and that so you can actually see your nuts and bolts and stuff like that. So that's why it's really important to give your bike a really good wash. So the kids out there, that's the reason why your dad makes you wash your bike, so you can spot problems before they happen. But I'll tell you a story. And
Oh, we love a Simon story. Everyone settle in. We're in for a ride.
And here we were at the TRS 2-day.
Oh, so it's just a recent story.
Oh, yeah, it's a
Ooh.
recent story. And what a magnificent weekend that was. An awesome camp over. We'd ridden the first day on the Saturday Arvo, had a great camp and a birthday cake for young Jackson. And on Sunday morning, everyone was heading out to the first sections. And not John, I nearly called him John, Mark Wilson, I'll name him.
Oh, you're going to name
Name
names.
and shame.
Ooh.
Mark went off to the first section and then he came back and laid his bike on the ground. And we're going, what's he looking at his bike for? He'd lost his complete rear brake assembly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because the nut and bolt come loose, the whole rear brake had fallen off, and that effectively was the end of his trial. Fortunately enough, we were able to find some bits and pieces and we got him back and going, but potentially that could have lost him that trial. So there's a classic example of why you should check all your nuts and bolts. And another classic one is kickstart levers and gear levers. I don't know how many times I've heard people, they pull up at a section, go walk the section and then come back and go to kickstart their bike and there ain't no kickstart lever there because the bolt's rattled loose.
Well, if only they had an electric start bike.
Well, there you go. You could do that too.
Oh,
so there you go.
Good old TRS coming to the rescue on that situation.
Yeah, definitely. So those are some of the reasons why you should check your nuts and bolts. Now, what you've obviously heard of nuts and bolts rattling loose.
Mm.
Have you got any ideas of some of the things you can do to stop them from coming loose?
Tightening them up.
Yeah, that would help.
Wrap them in cotton wool. Tuck them in nicely.
Cotton wool, I've never heard that one. So there's a couple of ways now, depending on what nut and bolt it is and how often you want to get the thing back out again or whatever. So there are a variety of different greases, Loctites, silicone. There's a whole pile of different things you can use. So actually, Neil, do you want to... We've got a couple of pictures that I was going to talk to. So why don't we bring those pictures up, eh?
Yep.
And which square are we going to today? Is it going to be the round, the circle, or the window?
There's a bear in there.
I'm surprised you knew what that show was, Simon.
Hey, mate, I used to always watch that. How are we going with comments? Anyone need anything answered?
No.
No
Seb
worries.
just reckons, yes, he agrees we need to get the custom bikes.
Right, so here we are. So our first photo here. Now, I've taken a series of photos of nuts and bolts of stuff that there's your obvious nuts and bolts that you can see fairly easy, like your kickstart lever, your triple clamp forks, your front mud guards, things like that. But Neil's having a crack at me.
Wait, do you want to talk to the camera or do you want to look at the image?
Well, they can hear me. They can hear me. I was just adding that bit in. Right, so we'll go back to the photo.
He was trying to add drama.
So this one here, I'm just servicing and working on a bike at the moment. I got the rear wheel off. Now this is a bolt that not a lot of people tend to think about. It's your bolt that holds your chain tensioner arm on. It's on the inside. It's not exactly easy to get at. This particular one's a beater. Some of them have an Allen key head. So Neil's coming back to me. Some have an Allen key head. And they're not easy to get at when your wheel's on. So whenever you're removing your wheels or doing work, it's a good idea to have a look at some of the nuts and bolts that you can't normally get to. So Neil's got a few more photos that he'll bring up, so we'll have a talk about those. Most of these are ones that you don't generally get easy access to. So when you're ready, Neil, we'll go to those. So now this one here this is on a beater. Obviously different bikes will vary. As I say, I've only just taken the rear fender off and she's pretty ugly underneath there. But that particular bolt that Neil's pointing to is your air filter, one of your air filter bolts, air filter body housing. And there's 4 of them on this particular bike. Now, these ones particularly, you want to pop them out and put a little bit of grease on them, because they screw into a brass insert which is molded into your plastic air filter box. Now, if you don't check these fairly regularly and keep them greased up, then they can seize and lock in there. And then when you try to undo them, you can't undo the bolt. You actually screw the insert out of the plastic airbox housing. So that's a good idea to keep an eye on those. So back to our other photos, Neil. What else have we got? Here's your kickstart lever. Now, this is a beta again, but different bikes have a slightly different hinge system. So you got your main bolt that holds the whole lever on there. Now, that particular bolt there, you would use a good Loctite on that to keep that on. Now, if you point to the other one, Neil, which is the Allen key head, whoops, that one there is your hinge point, and there's a spring loaded and a ball bearing in there. Now, that one often can come out as well, so you want to keep an eye on that one, and a bit of Loctite on that too is important to keep it on. So that's cool. There's your gear lever bolt that you should keep an eye on there. Now, just point to the gap between there. Now, see that gap there? Now, quite often when you're tightening up your gear lever bolt, you end up squashing your gear lever to the point where those 2 spaces actually touch. Now, it's a good idea to have a look at that, because sometimes you can tighten your bolt up and it's solid and it's tight, but your gear lever is actually still loose because the aluminium is stretched and your 2 surfaces are touching. So all you need to do is pop your gear lever off, take your bolt out, and actually just get a hacksaw and just take a couple of mil out, so you've got a larger gap there, so it actually does clamp around the shaft. So nice. So that's a good little trick for that one.
Handy little hint.
So what other photos have we got left, Neil? The top engine mounting bolts. Now, quite often they aren't that easy to get at on some bikes, and it's something that people often forget to check. So that's a good one to keep an eye on. On those, it's a good idea to have a bit of Loctite and stuff like that. What else we got? The old discs. Now, this is another one, not only discs but also rear sprockets. Keep an eye on your bolts for your discs and your rear sprockets. Now, this is a rear wheel, which is a fixed disc, but your front wheel will be a floating disc. So if you're tightening up the bolts and the disc is still floppy, that's because your front disc is actually a floating disc and it's supposed to be a bit floppy, but the nuts are not supposed to be loose, or the bolts. That's pretty well the photos, is it, mate?
That's all of them.
Yeah, so that's all your photos for today. Now, one I was going to mention, which I forgot to take a photo of, and that is your master cylinder caps. And that's where you put your brake fluid or your mineral oil that Jess knows all about.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Now, surprisingly, I've had a number of bikes in for servicing where I've tried to take the master cylinder cap off and the screws are just locked in there. Now, they're only a tiny little Phillips head screw into aluminium, and a bit of corrosion can easily lock them in. So it's a good idea every now and then to take them off and put a bit of grease on.
Sacking that bloody man in the back there.
We have some background noise going on there from our editor-in-chief. So, yeah, good idea to keep an eye on them. But four basic ways to keep an eye on your nuts and bolts as far as them not coming out or being able to come out easy. So quite often for plastics and bolts that you want to be able to remove but you don't want them to rattle out, you can use silicone. Now, it can be a little bit messy, but silicone is a great product for holding your screws in, but then if you need to remove them, they can be removed easy. Different bolts, the best component is to put a bit of grease on them, depending on what it is, like mainly your suspension bolts and things like that. Loctite, you can get different grades of Loctite. You can get medium, you can get hard Loctite, red, blue. They come in different colours and stuff depending on the medium, hard, whatever. On your kickstart lever bolts and things that you really don't want coming off, you use some Loctite on that. And of course, WD-40 is the best thing you can put onto your bike. After you've washed your bike, you blow it down with air, get rid of all your moisture.
Cover your disc brakes.
Cover your disc brakes and spray some WD-40 over your bike, and that'll get into all your nuts and bolts and stuff like that. So it's a great way to prep your bike for the next event. And then when you're riding in a really muddy, clayey, horrible property, the clay won't stick to your bike as much. So
there you go.
So
Handy
there you
little
go.
hint.
Yeah. And the other thing I was going to mention is covers, Jess. We've got a lot of protector covers in stock.
We do.
Now, they are fantastic to protect your bike against horrible scratches and that, so you get a good retail value out of your bike. But one of the downfalls of those, which was the problem with Mark Wilson, was that the bolt was actually under one of those covers. So it pays every now and then to pop your covers off, wash the mud out from underneath the covers anyway, check all your nuts and bolts. So that's something to be mindful of, you know. So that's pretty well it. The other thing we were going to cover are strip threads.
Yes.
Now, we talked about strip threads.
Did we? We did, didn't we?
So if you strip a thread out, because a lot of the bikes you're either screwed into aluminium, into plastic, whatever the case may be. Now, if you strip a thread, don't go getting a tech screw and screwing a tech screw in. Right? There are a number of different products out there. If you've completely stripped it out and you need to drill and tap a larger diameter, we carry what they call a time sets. So we can put inserts in for you. Helicoils is another product, not necessarily ideal. The inserts are generally better. But get the thing fixed properly and you'll be a lot better off from that point of view.
Yes, no one wants to go to the doctor with a bodgy fix-up.
No, that's right. So yeah, that's pretty well it for nuts and bolts and stuff. I hope you found that helpful. And you get out there and spend a couple of minutes on your bike checking all your nuts and bolts.
Yes. Check regularly.
Yeah, regular health checks.
That's it.
So what's coming up this Sunday?
I don't know. It's just another Sunday, isn't it?
Just another Sunday?
Yeah, it's not important. You know, it's not like dads do anything.
Hey, yeah,
Except for my dad. He had to put up with 4 daughters, so he did a lot.
But what about father-in-laws? Is it a father-in-law day?
I don't know. What have you done for me lately?
Hey, I've annoyed you, haven't I?
Yes. A lot. No, this Father's Day there's no trial on because everyone make sure that you spoil your dad. If you need a last minute gift, we do have the van stocked. So if you want to spoil your dad with something that might be useful at a trial, be it a bolt or a nut.
Well, we got some of those nice fancy jackets.
Yes, we got the lovely signal jackets and the hoppers.
I keep dropping that hint, but I haven't got one yet. Hey?
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, you're not my dad. You have to talk to that fine young man over there as to what he needs to get his dad.
I'm definitely going to miss out then.
I've already got my dad covered, so I'm fine.
Danger.
But no, so there's no trial on because it is Father's Day. But I said, if you are stuck for a gift you need for dad, well, come on down and we can get you sorted out on Saturday.
Yep. No worries.
Because yes, I think we will be doing something Sunday. I don't know.
Yep. No, yeah. So if you're looking for a last minute present, by all means, give us a shout. And products-wise, Jess, I see you're our products in person. I see you labelling stuff. And
yes. So this week, what have we got? We've got new shipment of golden tyres have all come through.
Oh, yeah. We've got heaps of them have come in.
So heaps of those have stocked in.
Mooses, front and rears.
You've got the what is it, the gel grease thing that comes in with them.
kilo tins of moose grease have come in as well.
So we've got that. What else? Oh, we had a couple of pants arrive. There was
some
disc
jerseys.
brakes of someone.
Oh, yeah.
No, there was no jerseys, just pants.
Yeah, wasn't there some jerseys in there?
No,
I thought
just
I
pants.
saw jersey. Oh,
No,
pants.
just pants.
Okay.
Levers, your throttle response thingamajiggity.
Oh yeah, we've got some just the tubes only. So if you wanted to change between a faster or slow action, we've got
And
just
you
the
did get a
tubes.
swanky gold chain.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
if anyone really
Some more-
wants to bling up their bike,
Yep.
there is a fancy schmancy
Yeah,
gold chain.
Yeah, we've got some more gold chains back in stock. So that's good.
And that's really about it. But we'll have some other stock come through, I think, in the next week or so.
No worries. And how are we going with our survey? I mean, it's
I think we're actually doing not too
we're humming
bad.
with that because
Yeah.
there's a couple of tyres up for grabs there.
Yeah, there is. And that survey will close on September the 3rd. So you've got 2 more days because it's Hello Spring.
September the 3rd. That means they could win a tyre in time for Father's Day.
Our Father's, well, it's going to be drawn
So when
next week.
it gets drawn the week after.
But, you know,
Okay.
hey, it still could be a surprise, Dad, I won you a tyre. So we have that. But, yeah, we will be closing that on the 3rd with the draw happening live next week.
Next
so
week.
make
What?
sure.
This show? Is
Yep,
it?
at this show, 12 o'clock.
Ah, awesome. I'm looking
At
forward
the
to
end
that.
of the show, we will be doing the live announcement.
Yep.
So we've got that now. I know my delightful Neil has put up in the comments the links if you want to jump in the form. You just also have to make sure that once you've completed the form, you follow 2 of our social streams. So whether it's Facebook and YouTube or Facebook and Instagram or...
What, you mean them technological fancy things?
Yeah, to follow
Oh,
us so
my
they know what's
goodness.
happening.
What chance have I got? Hey?
No, well, you can't enter. You're not...
Hey, what do you mean I can't enter?
Well, because you're a part of the business, you can't enter.
Jeez. I'll lose out
Neither can
again.
immediate families or anything like that, yes.
No worries. No, that's
But
cool.
yeah, so that'll all be ready in case a
Whoops.
trials rider does win it. You
Lost
could
my
have
book.
a brand spanking new rear tyre ready for the
Awesome.
States, which is in 2 weeks now.
Oh, yeah.
I just did see an email. The close off is Monday, not Tuesday.
Monday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm quite sure
Pay-
that's next Monday.
Pay attention to that. Check the subregs. Get onto RiderNet.
Yep.
Check
Pathfinders,
when the-
if you are a Pathfinders member, I'm sure even, or it might go out to both clubs, but
yeah,
there
it should go out to both
there
because
was-
it's an open event.
there was an email that was sent out this morning on that.
Okay.
So
That's a good pickup.
we've got that on the 19th, and next week, yes, not this week,
So after Father's,
After-
not Father's Sunday,
not this Father's Day, but the following Sunday, the 12th,
which is the 12th.
we will be at Mental Falls for the last Prestige 6 Winter Series.
Wow, yeah, that's the end. That's the last of the Club Championship Series.
That is.
The Austins are going to be our hosts, and they said you're welcome to come and camp forever.
Yep,
Is what Mark said.
definitely,
Yeah,
if you
no.
feel like it.
So yeah, camping definitely available. It's a fantastic property there. So take availability of camping. That's great. And also I did hear, is it true that there's no camping at the States?
I think that most probably would be true, being that it's a new owner.
Right,
It's just
okay.
rocking up on the day.
Right. So check that. I only heard it.
Sorry.
So check the subregs and check whether there's camping or not, because traditionally for normal club events up at Woodendale Road we do camp, but I believe not for the state championships.
Simon Thomas has just confirmed correct.
Okay, so Mr. Thomas, who's
Oh, yes, he's just said that the numbers are down, so get those entries in, people.
Yeah, don't. It's not like a normal club trial. The state championship requires a little bit of preparation
Yep.
for the
so
club.
next Monday, they do close off. Where I can't remember if it's 9 o'clock. Simon, just confirm if it's 9 o'clock or midnight on
Right,
Monday
on
night.
Monday, no
They will
problems.
close.
Cool. No worries. Well, I think that's about it from me.
And that is it from me.
That's it from you. So
That
there
is
you
it
go.
from me.
Awesome people. hope you all enjoy the weekend. The weather's looking awesome.
Yep. We got heat wave in a couple of days. It's going to be 26 degrees.
Holy dolly!
Oh, yes. Oh, God. Yes, Uncle
So,
Arthur.
a big shout out to all the fathers out there. Hope you have a great Father's Day. And we look forward to seeing you at Mental Falls up at 2J at the Austin's property. So, feet up. Ciao for now. See you later,
Ciao.
alligator, when your legs are straighter.
Okay.